tomorrow. And that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it.
Fair use.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
Do it live, Bill. Warning, before the show starts, just a new little disclaimer for you. Murph the Kenzo, in the pursuit of critical thinking, sometimes we say things that might not be suitable for all listeners. With that being said, viewer discretion is advised. Let's get on with the show. Salute, LGB, Jay, what's good, guys? EK. Letitia. Yes, sir. Hey, Pamela. Yeah, bro, it was 4 years ago. We're going to talk about it. Let's just let the theme rock out. Once again, age restriction in effect. Anyone under the age of 16, you're on your own. Let's finish her up. Hang in there. We're going live in a minute. Every show got its intro. Welcome once again. If it's your first time here, I go by Murph the Kenzo, and this is Murph at 420, a audio podcast to stimulate the mind. Murph the Kenzo is home of critical thinking and common fucking sense, as rare as that is anymore. Join the DayOnes. Join the movement before it's moving. Always remember, profit over profit. With that being said, what's going on, everybody? I see all the DayOnes piling in. Appreciate y'all. Jay, I'm glad you made it from the beginning, big dog. Let's go Birds. Yeah, bro, I'm good. This was 4 years ago. We're gonna talk about the ulcer a little bit. Yesterday I went live and I didn't realize till afterwards that it was 4 years. Lauren, what's good? Dorota, thank y'all for coming in. Alicia, I'm glad you made it. Glad you made it. I was hoping you might have seen it on Twitter. Alaska, salute. Let everybody come in and get comfy. Hang in there with us. We'll take y'all on a little ride. Firstly, I say, how's everybody doing today? Salute to the chat, the DayOnes. Love everybody showing all the love to each other. We're building this community from the ground up, positivity only. It's not always easy. But we're here, we're together, and that's all that matters. We're about to kick some fucking ass. Anyway, if you're still here, apparently you give a fuck, and I care about you as well. To start off, I said that when I shared it on the socials that we would talk about, you know, the before, the during, the after. I'd answer any questions anybody has at the end. Shout out to Rhoda, everyone earlier, Dorota, Letitia, everybody, Pamela, everybody was in the chats earlier, whether it be Barnes, salute ATG Barn. But yeah, we're going to get into it, I guess. It looks like the main group is here. Let's get rocking. I see 10 watching, 10 likes. My beautiful family. Fucking salute. Love all y'all. So I guess I started to say it a little bit earlier on Barnes Pod, but we wanted to save a lot until right now. So I was dealing with a lot of back problems at the time. I mean, my back's still pretty shitty, but at the time it was really bad. It would literally get me to the point where I would vomit from the pain. Just my back would hurt so bad. And it didn't help at the time. I was a line cook in a restaurant. So I literally stood for 10 hours a day, every day. It was just murder on my back. But I would vomit from it. So I always thought it was either just the stress of my back. So meanwhile, I have this going on with my stomach, apparently, and I had no clue. You know, I had no idea at all. So this happened December 1st of 2016. So November 30th of 2016, I felt like I had the flu almost. I had like a stomach virus. I was vomiting. And something, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. And now I look back and I'm like, I should have put 2 and 2 together. But even when I was drinking Pepto-Bismol, I was throwing the Pepto up. But it wasn't nothing outrageous at that point. There was no severe pain. I thought I had just a stomach virus. So the next day I get up and I to go to work. I still feel totally depleted, as you would. I go to the store, I get a coffee, and I grab a pack of Aleve because I'm not feeling good. I take the Aleve, which is horrible for what's getting ready to happen, to put aspirin into your naproxen into your stomach. But so I get to work. I'm just dealing with uncomfortable, you know, I just feel uncomfortable. At this point, I'm taking SEPTA to work. My car was down at the time. So I walk 12 blocks to the buses, or it's 6 to the bus, 6 from the bus. So I walk the 12 blocks and the bus as usual, just feeling like shit. And Alaska, you know, that's how we love it around here. Always good vibes. That's why we got this community. Salute. I love y'all interacting with each other too. But the whole bus ride, I'm okay. I get to work. I tell them, like, I'm not feeling good, but we're here, you know, and I'm working. And as time, this is 8:30 a.m. As time's progressing, I'm getting cramps in my stomach, and they're getting worse and worse. I don't know what's wrong, but I just don't feel good. So I go down. I work in a warehouse at this point. I take the elevator. They had a service elevator. I took the service elevator down. I go in the office, and I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to split on you guys, but I need to relax. I just don't feel good. And she's like, go sit down. Your face is red, except for around your mouth and your eyes, which, you know, she said I look like a raccoon almost, but it was like my color was normal around my eyes and mouth. The rest of my face was red, probably from the blood pressure raised. But so I go into the showroom of the warehouse and I turn the lights off. I, you know, put my head down and I'm sitting at the table. And I mean, it's literally, I'm sitting there and I'm groaning. It hurts. So it's getting worse and worse and worse. I'm trying to have it calm down. It won't. So I'm like, listen, guys, I have to go home. I'm sorry. I leave. Now I make the 6 blocks back to the bus, holding my stomach. I'm in pain. I get on the bus. I ride the 20-minute bus ride. I'm freaking agony. I'm on the phone with the wife and I'm like, you know, I'm telling her what's going on, keeping her informed. I get off the bus and she's with her grandmother. So I was like, I need you to pick me up. I can't walk. I can't make it. I was in too much pain. So I meet them. We get to the house and I'm thinking it might be my back, how it used to be, you know? So I used to relieve that with a hot shower, let the hot water just beat on my back. So I get in the hot shower and it's making it worse. My skin hurts, you know, it's literally, it's just too much at that time. Thank you, Barn. I appreciate it. Looks like everybody has been, but if you're just stopping in, please hit like. We're talking about the ulcer story. So I try to get the shower. It's not working. So I'm like, I say to her, I'm like, let me try to lay on the heating pad because that's another one of my reliefs at the point with the back. So as I try to lay on the bed, just the weight of my stomach moving, and I was a little thinner then. I was running. I was trying to get into shape. I didn't have a gut like I got a dad bod now. But yeah, I was close to a six pack for once in my life. That's why it broke my heart the most. But so it's hurt so bad. And then the family, they're getting scared because I hold pain in. I don't show this kind of stuff normally. So families that you got to go to the hospital. You got to go to the hospital. Chris, that was 4 years ago yesterday, 2016. So I agree that I have to go to the hospital. I know I can kind of gauge how bad it is with my medical symptoms. Is it broke or is it sprained? I'm pretty good with that kind of stuff. I knew this was serious. If you're listening to this right now, please smash that like to keep Murph going. Those likes keep us going and spread our message out to everybody, and that's what it's all about. Salute to the day ones. Murph the Kenzo is home of critical thinking and common fucking sense, as rare as that is anymore. Profit over profit. Join the movement before it's moving. Day ones. So back to the story. So I'm dressed at this point. We get in the car with Grandma, and it is getting progressively worse. I mean, I start getting this stabbing pain as well in my shoulder, up by my neck. Feels like a knife is going in my shoulder. So the pain's getting so bad that my body is starting to go into shock a little bit. I'm starting to hyperventilate. But I think I'm having a heart attack because my left arm is dying. It feels like it's dead. It hurts so bad. And I'm literally holding my stomach. We're going up Frankfurt Ave. If anyone's familiar with Philadelphia, we're going from basically Tioga L stop to Frankfurt Hospital. She said, that's funny. I wanted to bring this up. So we come in and she goes, what hospital do you want to go to, Frankfurt or Episcopal? I said, is that even a question? I ain't going to Episcopal. But anyway, so we're driving. It's getting so bad. I'm like, Grandma, please drive on the fucking pavement. I don't care. Like, I thought I was dying. I'm dry heaving at this point from the shock. And, of course, we hit every freaking red light. If I'm driving, of course, I'm running red lights. I know back ways. It's a little different. Grandma, it's a grandmom. She's older. She's at this point, a 33-year-old's grandmother. So, she's in her 60s. Yeah, we were 33 at the time, which is relevant because 33-year-olds don't usually go through this. 73-year-olds do. So we're flying down. I'm scaring people on Frankfurt Ave because I'm screaming with the freaking windows open. Barn, do your thing, bro. We still here. I'm screaming. People. So we get to the hospital. We're in the ER at this point. They put me in a wheelchair, and I'm screaming. I mean, it's bad. But I've never been in a hospital situation where they rushed me so quickly. They took me right to the back. They're like, all right, let's get this guy to MRI. They get me up to MRI. And when I lay on they give me the MRI. As soon as it goes over the top, they're like, there it is. They see the hole in my stomach. If anyone doesn't know, I'll explain now a little bit what a gastric ulcer burst is, just so you're a little more informed on where we're at here. So a gastric ulcer burst is when your stomach, a hole is burst into it. So think if someone shot you in your stomach with a gun, the bullet goes through it, penetrates your stomach lining, etc. Now just think it's popping out instead of in, and there's obviously no bullet. So I have this hole in my stomach lining, and blood gets in, toxins. It's dangerous. We have a stomach lining for a reason. Honda Mommy, welcome in, welcome in. You didn't miss too much. We're talking about the ulcer story here. We're only up to arriving to the hospital. And I'm explaining now what a gastric ulcer burst is. Now, this is just from over time, our stomach linings, they all thin. But I had taken aspirin for a long time. PMs before bed. Percocets have aspirin in them. I took those. So, I took a lot of aspirin, which thins the stomach. And they kind of, basically to this day, I think that's kind of what led me down that path. So that's kind of what a gastric ulcer is. It's kind of a hole burst into your stomach lining, and blood. They don't want none of it. You obviously don't want things to go where they're not supposed to. But so, yeah, I'll get there. My wife just said I make it sound easy, but I almost died. I never took it as serious as she, but she was I was sleeping, But anyway, so we're in the emergency room. At the MRI rather. They're like, okay, boom. They rushed me right to emergency surgery. So we're talking, I'm there for 45 minutes and I'm on an operating table. If anyone's been to a hospital, you know exactly how fast that is, really. Yes, PSA, aspirin is hard on the stomach. Yes, so is, people don't realize acetaminophen. That's what's in Tylenol. That's an NSAID. An NSAID's in your stomach. So, they go to the surgery. It's me and my wife there. They tell her we have to take it. So she gets, ushered off to a lobby by herself. And they knock me out. So I wake up, what was that, about 4 hours later? So mind you, we got there at, I'd say, it was dark out. So we'll say we got to the hospital about 5:30. And I was out of surgery that night. Yeah, we had just ordered dinner. I know. I didn't get to eat. So, I wake up after the surgery and I'm in the bed. I have a tube down my nose. It's taped to my face. If you're on my Facebook, I shared it today. That was the first day I woke up. That was one of the first things I said. I used my phone to take the picture to see what I look like, and I just shared it to let everyone know that, hey, look, I'm awake, I'm alive. So I wake up. My mom is there now with Kelly. And again, I have a tube down my nose. I'm going to show you guys the scar in a second. And I have a tube. I'll show you the hole that's still here as well. There's a tube going into my stomach to suck out any blood or poisons or anything like that. So I guess I'll try to get myself into the light a little bit here. And I guess I'm lucky that I'm not shy or bashful here, showing my fat dad bod. But your friendly friend Murph, I love you all, guys. You are showing such great. You guys are fucking awesome. I'm just trying to get the lighting perfect. So this is the scar. I'm a little fat and hairy, but it's from you see it here, right down there. It's that wide. It goes from here to my belly button, and then there's a little hole over here. The tube went in here. The tube went in there. Thank you guys for seeing my fat body. Back up. Everyone can be chubby. We don't body shame in our positive land. But now that scar down my stomach, I had 10 or 12 staples. So basically what the surgery consisted of is they cut my stomach open where you see the scar. They cut me open there. They took some meat, quote, meat from my right side of my stomach to patch the hole on the left side of my stomach. So I have the 10 staples down there. I have the tube that goes in the divot in the side of my stomach, which is sucking out any poisons. I have a tube down my nose. And I have 2 IVs on both arms. So imagine how you're laid out. Yeah, Pamela, we all are during quarantine, right? Yeah, the quarantine 15. Yeah, but I had it before quarantine. What's my excuse? But yeah, imagine yourself. Imagine that in your head, the hospital bed. Your both arms are out. With IVs in them. The tube down the nose. A tube in the gut. It was fucking horrible. It was so painful. And so the first night I wake up and, finally Kelly can go home. Mom goes home. And they're like, listen, from having a tube down your throat for, being on life, they have to put you on life support when you're under surgery or whatever. So in that tube, I had a lot of congestion. I had a lot of like fluid in my lungs. So they're like, you have to cough it out. So I had to cough all night long. So they give me this pillow to hug on, and it does nothing. I'm on morphine, and of course I'm pushing the button because I'm in severe pain. Every time I cough, I feel like I'm dying. So I'm just hitting that button. Boop, boop. So the next day, they're like, oh, the one nurse is real cocky. Like, oh, you used a lot last night. I was like, excuse me? I was like, I'm in pain, ma'am. I had a surgery that, I told them I didn't want any more. I was so insulted. Like, yeah, I'll do it my fucking self then. But I had two nurses. The one was ignorant, but the other one was a fucking angel. If you believe in God, it was an angel sent from heaven. It was someone that's put in my life for a reason, because this woman was just so compassionate, sweet. She was the RN. Amazing. She made it, I came in and she was especially helpful the last few days. So I'll get back to it. So the night I'm coughing, I'm hugging on this freaking pillow. I'm dying. The next day they so 2 days I'm like this. I have a catheter in my weenus, as our boy Quinn likes to call it. The 2 IVs, the tube in my stomach, staples, tube, and a tube down my nose. I'm like that for 2 whole days with everything like that. So on the 3rd day, they removed the IVs. Now, this entire time, I've had a cigarette patch, so I've been okay with that. But I'm not allowed to eat or drink anything because they can't corrupt with what's in your stomach. If I were to drink, if I drink water, they say it comes out, they might think it's a leak. It could be blood mixed, and they're going to panic. So nothing. I had 0 to eat or drink for 5 days. So day 3, they take out the IVs. Day 4, they take out the catheter. And then she comes in when she takes the catheter. This is the heaven sent. Well, Pamela, that's what the IVs. I mean, they kept one IV in because that's how they're they're hydrating and essentially keeping your body quenched from thirst or hunger. But so she takes the catheter out and she's like, "Look, you might be able to eat tomorrow." They might, they're talking about pulling the tube out of your nose and your stomach. You might be able to eat. So she's like, I'm really going to push for them to take everything out of you today so you can eat tomorrow. So the tube in my stomach, is it my nose or one she could pull out and one she couldn't? My nose or my stomach? I can't remember. And the other he had to do. So now let me tell you, both of these were almost as painful as the ulcer itself. I've had catheters before. It's an awkward feeling when they pull that out. But that tube on the side of my stomach, let me tell you that I felt that come from my feet. I know I'm exaggerating. I felt it coming from my back. They're pulling it out, and it hurt so bad. So they get that out, patch me up, boom, 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 boom. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. If you haven't already, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to all notifications. So the next morning, okay, I remember now, guys. She pulled the one out of my nose, which that I didn't speak on, but that was like, it kind of burnt my nose a little bit, and I felt that coming with you felt come all the way up. I don't want to get you grossed out too much. So, of course, the next day, they tell me, schedule breakfast. You can have blah, blah, which is weird because I could have coffee, but not other stuff, which was so weird. But I couldn't have the creamer in the coffee, and I couldn't have, the restrictions just, they blew. But Even the first night I had to literally, they told me not to even eat ice chips, literally wet my lips and my tongue, and that's it. I felt like I was dehydrating. To Pamela's point earlier, I sound like I was an old New Yorker, Pamela. But so the next morning and I'm getting furious at this point because it's been freaking 5 days since I've had anything to eat or drink. I want coffee. I'm freaking dying here. So she's getting angry. I literally hear her pick up the phone and call him and say, "This man has had nothing in days. Please get up here." Because I'm yelling at this point. I'm like, this guy on his fucking ass, sitting around having a good old time while I'm fucking dying. You know, of course, we all get a little petty when we're hurt. You know, we all get a little petty. Ain't nothing wrong with admitting our flaws, people. Let's pass that message across. So he comes, he takes the tube out. So they say you can go home tomorrow. So the next day my wife and her uncle picked me up. I literally still have the 10 staples in me. I have to have them in for 3 weeks. Well, it was supposed to be 2, but it took them 3, which it hurt because they started to scab over a little bit. But you have to keep that clean. You know, you see the size of the scar. You can't avoid it. But we get home, and it was just like everything had changed. My mind frame, even things had changed at home. You know, there were different moving parts going on at the time, but just a total mind frame. Like, because I sat there and the doctor was like, you know, he says, "Hey man, hang in there. You know, that was a close one." And I was like, you know, you laugh it off. Yeah. He goes, "No, I'm not kidding. You almost died." And then my face just dropped. And he's like, "I told your wife this, sir." He said, "If you would have went to bed, you wouldn't have woke up." And I'm like, oh my God, I had no clue. It hit me. So, you know, and that wasn't my first near-death experience. I have also spoke about the fire before. So like, this was like, yeah, I was hangry, Alaska. Let me tell you, I was like, I want a cheese. And then the cheeseburger for our European friends, it was shite. Ugh. I took one bite. I was like, fuck oil. I was so buttered. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I come in. Now, mind you, they've been giving me a patch for it, so I haven't smoked in a week, but I've had the patch, so I've had nicotine. I smoke a cigarette, man. I felt like I was 15 years old again, all lightheaded and shit. But so at the time, Kelly was in between jobs, so I felt like I had to kind of get back to work. So I got home Friday, and I went back to work Monday in that warehouse. And I mean, they worked with me great. You know, the 2 girls I worked with pulled a lot of slack. You know, I stayed on light duty. I did what paperwork I could do, but you know, 3 weeks later, I went and got the staples removed. He was giving me like an antacid and, you know, pain. I told him I didn't want the pain reliever anymore, but the antacid. And he said eventually I have to, you know, buy my own. And I kind of stopped it. I should still be taking stuff like that, but I don't know. But it took a long time. It really did. It some days I still have, you know, cramps and stomach issues. I get heartburn a lot easier than I used to. And, you know, it's basically just about watching how you live, what you eat. You know, I don't really exercise, but I keep myself fit enough. I don't just sit around. You know what I mean? But every day, you know, you got stronger from it, of course. Spicy food does not irritate it. It's weird. And I didn't even become a super spicy food kind of person until after. Like, I always kind of liked it, but now after, it's like me and my daughter are sitting there eating wings together. It doesn't really affect it. Acidic foods probably more than spicy ones. But yeah, it really changed my outlook on life. Obviously, near deaths usually do that, but it's just, I realized life was too short, too precious to deal with the bullshit. So, you know, I tried to cut a lot of the things I knew I shouldn't be doing out of my life, even dumb little things. I'm not talking about vices, you know. I'm talking about just like the way you operate, like being the butt of a joke in the bad way. I used to be that guy and get all upset. I'm not like that anymore. I don't care. Do you? You know what I mean? It was like a change for the good, and it was welcomed. And with all that being said, that was pretty much the story of the ulcer. At this time, I'd like to answer any questions anybody has. Please write them in the chat. I'm trying to get this loaded up. Bear with me here. We have 11 watching, 16 likes. We're a half hour in. Fucking appreciate all you. Oh, yeah, crazy fucks, yeah. Sometimes it takes something like that to happen. Pamela, exactly. You know, the fire, I was still young. I was only 19, 20 years old when the fire happened. So, you know, you're still young and dumb. But this one definitely hit me a little differently. Let's Go Bird says, stuff like this can mess with someone up real bad, but Murph has a strong mentality and kept pushing forward. Exactly, bro. I mean, you can't sit around thinking you're the only person that it's going to happen to. You know what I mean? Does this still affect you even just a little bit? Just curious. Yeah. I mean, I still get stomach pains. Sometimes the scar hurts. And any Harry Potter fans, my wife is, and I say Voldemort is near. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you'll get that. But I do. I even get some sharp pains once in a while in that little divot hole where the tube was. But yeah, I'd say it's more bathroom problems is what's different. I don't go to the bathroom the same way as I did, you know, with consistency, I'd say. It kind of just changed my schedule when I use the latrine. Yeah, exactly. Well, I had acid reflux, Alaska, when I was a kid. They tested me for that and said I had acid reflux. So maybe they should have fucking noticed something back then, the fucking jerk offs. Salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you. Pamela makes you realize what's important in life. Couldn't have said it better, Pamela. Exactly. Yeah, I know. And then when this is fucking kind of funny, but it wasn't funny at the time. But not too long. Okay, we'll see you later. Have a good. I'm trying. It's so funny. I call you Baba, but your other one was DiCaprio, so I always called you D. So you just tell us what you want us to call you, and that's how we roll. But I appreciate you stopping by. I hope dinner comes out well, and I appreciate you. Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank you for liking and subscribing, ringing that bell. If it's your first time here, I go by Murph the Kenzo. We talk about pretty much everything here. Okay, we'll call you D, no problem. So we talk about pretty much everything here, but we say we always do it with the side of common critical thinking and common fucking sense, as rare as that is anymore. Please hit subscribe, ring the bell if you enjoy this content. This is pretty much what we do on the regular anymore. I do try to get some pre-recorded stuff out, but I just enjoy these fucking lives so much. Like I always say, it's like a chat room with a host or a group of hosts when we all get together. If you haven't already, these conversations, we're growing a nice little community here of like-minded pages, platforms, and I just wanted to shout out a couple of those fellows real quick in case you guys wanted to check out some of their content. But definitely ATG Barn, he was here earlier, and Morals Over Money. You want to see some videos that'll make you feel good in your heart? Definitely check out some of Frank's videos and Morals Over Money. ATG Barn, same thing. G'd Up Quinn definitely does the same thing. Most of the people here are already going to know most of these names. Recently, I started messing with 183rd B's, 183 RDBZ. Definitely good guy. He was on Barnes' panel this morning. He'll be going live. He goes live every night, 6 o'clock. A lot of people here go over there. So if you guys are bored around 6 and you ever want to know where we're all at, definitely hop over at 183. I'm going to write it just so you know. 183rd B's. And just make sure, you tell him you come with the DayOnes. He knows what DayOnes are, you know what I mean? Yeah, appendicitis is scary, and it's a very similar thing, you know what I mean? It's like that poison's leaking into your body is what they worry about the most. But I'd say the ulcer was the worst pain, and tooth pain is pretty fucked up, let's be honest here. Also, Street Knowledge, Tony Black. He talks about battle rap, but he also touches on societal issues as well. Solid guy. I like him a lot. And I met him through T History, who I'm supposed to be having an interview with pretty soon. We're definitely going to try to link up on that. Dorota says, I'm so sorry that you had to experience that, Murph, but I also believe that everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we have to experience some type of challenging situation to wake us up. Couldn't have said it better, Dorota. That's exactly what this case was, for sure. Yeah, Honda Mommy, other than you trying to stab us all. Tommy D, you said, what is it? What did you mean, man? In what reference? Pamela with us. I mean, I always thought of this as funny. You said it was more painful than childbirth, and it brings me back to this like saying I always heard, but it was like, getting kicked in the balls is worse than childbirth because we don't. When you have a kid, you say, "Oh, let's have another one." No man's ever said, "Oh, I want another kick in the balls." I always laughed at that one. What? It ain't bull. I had a kid. Listen here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely insanely embarrassing. Toothache and earache. Yeah, toothaches are the devil. To wake us up so we can realize what matters in life. I'm extremely grateful that you were here with us. Thank you, Dorota. I appreciate that. I'm grateful I'm here with you guys as well. I love these conversations. That's why we try to do them so much. If you look, all of us in the community, well, I call us the Three Musketeers, but G-Dub, Quinn, and Barn and myself, we're starting to pick up we're starting to pick things up a little bit. Tommy, they come on my computer before my phone. Excuse me. But I try to get everybody, so I was a little bit behind on them. I kind of just caught up. But if anybody has any other questions about the ulcer or anything, no, Tommy, no doubt, bro. No need to apologize ever, bro. Please, no need. It's all love and support over here, bro. You know that. I would never be offended. I don't get offended much. I usually get offended for other people. If you were to say something ignorant to somebody else, I might get offended. But me, I don't know. It just don't bother me. That was kind of more what came after the ulcer. It was just like, I just didn't care what the trivial bullshit anymore, gossip or, just bullshit. I tried to be more forward, I made sure I reach out to my family more. And because I never liked when someone says, oh, phone works both ways. You could have called me. Granted, that works for a lot of us, but not when it comes to your family. Like your mother, I don't care if she never calls you. As a man, you should be calling your mother. Unless you had a falling out. But if you're on good terms, you should be calling your mother. Oh, Pamela, yeah, that's just kind of, I've always been that way, more protective of others. But that's what I said. I'll get offended. If someone would say a hurtful word to one of you guys, I'd probably get more angry that if they said it to me, I'd laugh. I mean, I love trolls. I like to bring my troll side back out once in a while. The evil guy's still in there. Yeah, Tommy, you got to be right with mom, especially as a man. I mean, and as a woman, you should be right with your father. You know what I mean? It's just, if those people are in your life, there was no falling out, there's no ill will. No, that's your parent. Call them. Like I get people have situations. Oh, I don't speak to my mother or father. We had bad. If you have a good relationship with your family, you're entitled as their child to call them. In my eyes, I know I look at things a lot different than everybody else, but appreciate everybody tuning in. Honda Mommy just said exactly. I talk to my mom so often, and my wife talks to my mom pretty much every day. Yeah, the comments are way behind on the chat compared to the computer, and then I get 3 at once. But yeah, Hunter, that's what I'm saying. Like it's your mom. I thought of something funny the other day. It's so funny that when we're kids, our parents tell us, I ain't your fucking friend. But when we grow up, We become friends with our fucking parents. Like, you're still their kid, but you're essentially a friend now. You go to the bars with them and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just, it's nuts. Pamela, yeah, I respect everybody until they give me a reason not to. Troll side, love seeing them. Me like trolling at them. I'm a reverse troll. I only troll trolls. I don't troll regular good people. We the same family, 100% Sicilian. You're crazy tight. Yep, that's how it should be. Shit, my mom is my best friend. Alicia, exactly. That's how it should be. I mean, it's funny. Can a best friend be one person? Should you only have one best friend? I don't. I have essentially 5. I have my wife. I have my kids. Then I have my friend Eric, and I have my friend Elmer. I don't even call them friends. They're my brothers. You know what I mean? Like, people get confused on Facebook because we have different last names. It's funny. Elmer was talking to my cousin recently, and she's like, "How do you know Tommy?" And no one calls me that. Most people call me Murph. So he's like, "Murph, that's my brother." She's like, "What, like a stepbrother?" And he goes, No. Like, that's my friend. I've known him for years. She's my real cousin. So she's like, "Wait a minute, what?" You know what I mean? So. Exactly. They will be one day, but as long as you have a friendly relationship and as the child, you don't overstep where they feel disrespected, you'll be their friend. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason for them to be angry at you if you're doing what you're supposed to. But, we always say here, you'll see Vic when he's in the chats, family over everything. We live by that. I always drop names. Alicia, Honda Mommy, Pamela J. I'm going to say everybody's name as I read their comment. I have better friends than blood. Honda Mommy, I understand that. I really do. I know a lot of people that it's like that. I'm tight with literally my family and my friends. So, it's not as much. No, I don't think he was, Pamela. I don't think so. Oh, my name. Yeah, yeah. Well, the only one that calls me Tommy is my mother. Tommy is now my son. I'm Tom. My best friend is my sister. I'm closer to her than my blood sisters. Yeah, I get it. That's how me and Eric are. Like, I love Elmer. That was my best man, but it's just like, now the story with Eric's kind of funny because he is the younger brother. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about Gary passing away. Eric is Gary's younger brother. Now, Gary is about 10 months younger than me. Eric is 7 years younger than me. He was the little fucking brat when I was a teenager. But when he grew up and became a man, we came back around and we were in the same circles. We kind of allegedly trapped together, allegedly. So, you know what I mean? And it was just like we had a lot more in common. So his wife's nephew was like, "Why do you hang with Murph? He's a little older than you." And he's like, "Oh, he was my brother's friend, but we just had a lot more in common." LGB, one day it'll happen, bro. Trust me, just keep the relationships tight, man. It's being tight with our parents kind of affects our whole life. I feel like people who have a lot of issues with their parents seem to have a lot of issues in general. Is there Alaska? My friend Eric, who I was just speaking of, has it tattooed on him. We stand by FOE real always. I didn't know it was a gang though. That's cool. So our gang, profit over profit. DayOnes. And we cry about our bowl being so packed you can't even get a goddamn head out of it. Salute to the chat. We're about to roll up on 45 minutes. We're going to be wrapping up in a couple minutes. Mostly Samoans. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We'll be wrapping up in a couple minutes. We had a pretty good conversation today about near-death experiences and the way they change our lives. I had an ulcer burst 4 years ago. And I am happy and blessed to be here every day with my loved ones and also you amazing people. I hope everybody knows that when I speak, I'm being authentic. I got rid of that bullshit. I have no interior motives. I don't want anything. I just want a laugh. I want to make you guys laugh. That's to be 100% honest. If I could cheer you up for 2 minutes to make you forget about some bullshit, I accomplished my goal. With that being said, I appreciate every motherfucking one of these day ones in here. You see these names? I'm going to hand out a few little wrenches real quick before we dip out. So if everybody wants to comment, just so they could see who's part of that Bang Bang Wrench gang. I think I got just about everybody. And we won't be making too many more moderators because I'm realizing I pretty much got a wrench on everybody that I want one on. So we'll be keeping it pretty much secure after this. That way, when we start getting assholes in, we have all the protection we need with a solid group of day ones. What the hell? Bear with me, trying to go back a little bit in the comments. They got a good jump. Do that homework, bro. We want you graduating. You already know, little bro. Hit them books. Pamela, that's all we're trying to do. Letitia, same thing. I'm just trying to make the world a better place. Dorota said, I have an incredible relationship with my mom, but I also have two best friends. I call them my soul sisters. They are the most beautiful people that I know, and I'm truly grateful to have them. That's amazing. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. I don't know if anyone heard yesterday that I was saying that from now on, I'm going to, at the end of the lives, as the music's playing us out, anything you want to say, you want it on screen, you want your name up there, you can screenshot it, show the kids, anything, man. I don't care. I will show everything that comes up. Obviously, I know my wrenches would take care of anything that's out of hand. We don't want anyone offending the day ones, but anything you guys want up there, you know, support this, support that, whatever. It will be up as the music plays. Alaska, thank you, bro. I thank you as much as you thank me. Honda Mommy, no elbow coughs. Look at all them wrenches. Beautiful thing. Hey, Tommy's seen it. Yep. So with that being said, let me give you all a little tidbit of information. This is Murph the Kenzo, home of critical thinking and common fucking sense, as rare as that is anymore. Join the day ones. Join the movement before it's moving. You can find Murph the Kenzo on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You want to get in touch with me? The best way to do it is to message me on Facebook, Murph the Kenzo. And if we're tight, I will then message you the name of my actual page, and we can link up. If anybody wants to get in touch with me about anything outside of that by email, the email is t.murph, which is T-E-E. I'm going to write it. T-E-E. Come on, you fucking prick. T-E-E-D-O-T-M-U-R-P-H at gmail.com. And that's a slash, not a dot. Dick. And remember, Murph stands for Mass Unrest Regarding People's Health. No, I'm kidding. That was when I rapped. I made acronyms for my name. But if you need to get in touch with me anyway, t.murph@gmail is the way to do it. With that being said, I appreciate the day ones for tuning in. Hope to see some of y'all over 183rd in a little bit. And appreciate you guys for listening to my rambling. Day ones, I love y'all. Best fucking community around. I love the positive community we're building from the ground up. It's really good to see when you see a lot of what some other channels go through, whether it be trolls or their battles with other pages. And, you know, there's a lot of bullshit behind this YouTube, but the day ones definitely make it worth it. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, I appreciate you guys checking in. With that, we're going to play out with Trials and Tribulations again. You can find it on my page, along with 4 other songs I've released. If you want to use one of them, please email me on the email provided. I'll give that joint to you for free if I like it. If I don't, I'm charging you up, motherfucker. Psych. Love y'all. Be easy. Listen to those smooth jams on W104. Smooth jazz. Thank you, guys. Throw them green hearts in the chat for your boy Murph. Green heart. Smooth jazz. Throw them green hearts in the chat for your boy Murph, guys. Appreciate y'all. Smooth jazz. That joint is mine, Honda Mommy. That joint is mine. I live close enough for a delivery. Let's go. Green's my favorite color, Honda Mommy. Glad to hear it, Pamela. I'll take purple. Love y'all.